Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar about the education program. It's so nice to see that we've got teachers today from all around the world with us. So thank you teachers from Africa, from Indonesia, from the United States and of course from Europe. Welcome to everyone. First, a small reminder for you. We've got a French webinar coming up on the 20th of August and we also got a Dutch webinar coming up on the 27th of August. So don't forget to check the information on the Odoo events page. So my name is Claire. I'm an Odoo education officer here since 1 year now. And before that, I was a teacher. So I kind of know my way around the education world.
And I'm Youssef. I am also part of the education team at Odoo. I've been working at Odoo for around 9 months and more months will definitely come.
Of course, Youssef. So let's dive in now with our agenda. Today we are going to start with what is Odoo, of course. What does this company do? Then we are going to talk about our education program and afterwards about our educational resources. And at the end, we will have a Q&A session, of course, so don't hesitate to write your questions down and we will try to answer them at the end. So, Youssef, what is Odoo?
Thank you, Claire. Let's dive into it and let's start with the first topic of today. What is Odoo? Very simple. Odoo is an open source ERP software package for companies. You might have heard already of the terms open source, ERP, or you might even as well know what Odoo does. Well, that's great. But let me explain it to you again in simple terms. Open source means that the code that's necessary to be able to build a certain software is publicly available for anyone to use. Of course, you need to have knowledge to be able to turn this code into a functional software. Next, ERP, also very simple, stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and it's basically a term given to software that helps companies with streamlining a few or all their different business processes. An ERP package often consists of smaller tools, applications, each one of them responsible for a different business process. The Odoo software is an all-in-one software, meaning that it doesn't matter which business process a company would like to manage. It's possible with Odoo because they have a wide variety of different applications. On top of this, the Odoo software is also integrated. This means that all these smaller applications communicate with one another, which makes it very easy to follow up the information you put inside the software and even follow it up in applications there is a connection with. The Odoo software is also very easy to use. Just playing with it, trying it out for a few times is actually already enough to understand the basics. And last but not least, it's also flexible, which means that a company doesn't need to install all the different applications they need from the beginning. They can start with a few business processes, with also a few applications, and as soon as they are ready to move on to, for example, the more complex applications, they can add them really easily to their database. Let's move on to the next slide. So as said before, it doesn't matter which need a company has, Odoo has an application for it. If it's for doing your sales, if it's for keeping track of your inventory, for doing your accounting, doesn't matter. On top of this, Odoo has applications and even combinations of applications specific for companies inside of different industries. For example, if you take a look at the retail industry, Odoo has solutions for grocery stores, toy stores, bookstores, and so on. And if we take a look at the service industry, Odoo has solutions for law firms, accounting firms, and so on. In short, doesn't matter which need you have as a company, doesn't matter in which industry you are, Odoo has a solution for you. As said before, the Odoo software is an all-in-one software. You only need the Odoo software to manage your whole company. But when we take a look at the average company nowadays, it makes use of around 14 different softwares to be able to do everything you can just do with the Odoo software. You might think to yourself, that's pretty inefficient. Indeed it is. Let me show you an example. For example, when you take a look at the graph on the left, you have Excel and Zendesk. Excel great tool for working with numbers. Zendesk, great for working on your customer support. Both of them great on their own, but there is no interaction, no integration between the both of them, which means you need to put the same data into both tools, which is often very time consuming. On top of this, each one of these softwares requires a license cost, which quickly adds up. On the other hand, you have the Odoo software. All the apps are integrated inside the same platform, plus you only need to pay one license cost, which isn't even that high. So why not use Odoo? I will give you time to think about it. In the meantime, my colleague Claire will guide you through some key numbers as well as our international impact.
Yes, so let's start with some key numbers. Today at Odoo, we are more than 6,000 employees around the world. That's crazy, I know. And we've got 19 offices around the world with 5 offices here in Belgium. We've got Odoo users all over the world. That means that Odoo is used in more than 175 different countries. That is thanks to our open source version, but also to our partners who makes a great job. And we have 15 million users because, like I said it just before, we've got an open source version that is free. And so we've got a lot of people using Odoo every day. As you can see, we've got an international impact. Why? Well, because we have offices all around the world on each continent. That means that we can build a strong community worldwide, and that's really important with Odoo. So now, our education program. Youssef, what do we have to say?
So let's take a look at our education program. As said before, normally the Odoo software is paid for companies, but for educational purposes, it's completely free. Yes, you heard it right. It's free to use for teachers, professors, students, and so on. You just need to be affiliated with an educational institution. For example, if you're a teacher, you can make use of the software, which means you can make unlimited databases with unlimited users and applications. If you would like to make one database for one specific course and another one for another course, it's possible. Next to this, the hosting is done by Odoo themselves, so you don't need to pay anything for hosting as well. Plus, you also get access to our online support. If you have a problem, something is not working right, or there's a bug, you can always reach out to them. They are more than happy to help you. By the way, each database stays valid for 24 months. We set this expiration date to 24 months since, according to us, this time period is enough to go through a whole curriculum. But of course, we understand each professor's needs. Each one of them has different needs. So if it's still not enough, you can always import data into the new database and export it from the old one a few weeks before the old one is going to expire. Also, the educational databases are completely the same as the paid versions. There is no light version. All the different functionalities, applications are also possible in the free educational databases. But yeah, this is basically the information around it. Now my colleague Claire will show you exactly how you can make use of it.
Yes, so as Youssef said, an educative database can be made and its validity is from 24 months. That it's really important to know. And of course, you have to log in minimum once every 3 months. That's important to keep your database alive. So, okay, I said it's simple, but how simple is it? Well, let me show you. You just go on odoo.com. That is simple. You put the language in English here below. And you can, of course, choose your own language, but here we are doing in English, so I'm staying in that language. And you can click on Start Now. It's free. As you can see here, you can choose your apps. You've got a whole list here. I will just go for the CRM, sales, and why not accounting. As you can see here, I've got my apps that I selected and I can click on Continue. You will arrive on this form. It's really important to put, of course, your first name and last name. And here, to have an educative database, well, simple. Just type edu-. And that's how you create an educative database. Then you can imagine a name for it. I will put webinar English. And as you can see here underneath, you've got already your URL. Then you have your email address, phone number, your country, really important for taxes, for example, the language, the company size, and primary interest. Here, as a teacher, you can put, I am a teacher. And if you are asking your students to create a database, they have to tick, I am a student. Voila, that's it. Here, you're done. You just have to click on Start Now, and you can already make some great work in your own database. But how do you find your database back? Well, also really simple. You go back on Odoo, okay? And here on the top right, you see a small man, and you can click on My Database. And here you will have the list from your databases. And as a teacher, it's quite nice to know. Why? Because you can create your own database, put your own data in it, and then you can share that database with your students. How? Well, easy. You've got just a share a course button right here. And if you click on it, you have this link coming up. You can copy the link, send it to your students, and your students can then complete their own form. Just a little tip for you. When the students want to name their own database, try to ask them to write their name, first name, last name, and everything. Why? Because under your own database, you will have the list from the databases of your students. So if they put their name on it, it's going to be really simple for you to know where to look. Because as a teacher, you have access to the databases of your students. You can connect to the databases of your students. It means that you can check the work, you can put some tests in it. You will always have access. So let's go back now to our presentation, and Youssef will talk about our resources.
Thank you, Claire. So now we have explained to you how you can make use of the free educational subscription, but next to it we also have other free activities for educational institutions. Let's take a look at them. I will first explain each one of them briefly, and then we will dive into more detail. Our first activity, Scale Up, the business game. It's basically a deck of cards that consists of 10 different use cases, and this game teaches students how they can manage a simple business inside of the Odoo software in an interactive way. Next, we have our Labodu, which is basically this mobile classroom that travels around to different schools. When it arrives, it transforms into a real-life simulation of a company, and students can walk inside and experience how it is to work inside of a real company. And then last but not least, we have our university course. It's a new initiative since last summer, and it's a course that consists of 35 hours of lessons about different topics, different applications that are based on the most frequently used business flows by different companies. It's meant for students. Students who participate in it will have the chance to participate in an exam afterwards, and if they succeed in this exam, they will increase their chances of landing a job at Odoo or even at one of our partners. But now let's take a look at Scale Up into more detail. As you can see, I have a paper copy with me. Let me show you how you can get a free copy as well. First, you need to go to the education website of Odoo. Then you scroll down until you see Scale Up. You press on the button Discover Scale Up. And then immediately you see two buttons, buy a printed copy and print yourself. The left button, you can ignore it, since if you're a teacher, you will get it for free. And then you can see the print yourself button. If you press on it, you will get a selection of different languages. And if you press on a language, you will download the PDF version of the Scale Up business game. By the way, the PDF version is always more complete and more up-to-date than the paper version, so I would recommend using it. But if you still would like a paper version, you can always scroll down, and then you see, are you a teacher? Receive a Scale Up box for free. You press on Claim Your Free Copy, and then you need to fill in your details. And after proving to us that you are a teacher, we will send you a free copy anywhere you are in the world. But that is basically how you can make use of the free scale up. But let's take a look at it. Let me open it up. As you can see, there are a lot of cards inside. And these cards are divided into different use cases. The first use case is the buy and sell use case. This use case always needs to be done first in case you want to move on to the next use cases, but the next ones can be done randomly. Each use case consists of around 8 to 10 cards, and each card has a challenge described on the front and an answer described on the back. Students need to solve the challenge on the front without looking at the back. If they succeed, they get 2 points per card. If they need to peek at the answer, they get 1 point. They do this until they finish the use case, and then they can count their points to see how well they did. Students can, of course, choose which use cases they want to do. They only need to do the ones that are relevant for them. But, of course, they can also choose to do all of them. If they do all of them, they will have a complete overview of the most frequently used business flows by different companies inside of the Odoo software. But that's actually it about the scale-up. Now my colleague Claire will talk a bit about the Labodu and our university course.
Yes, so let's talk Labodu. Like Youssef said, the aim of the Labodu is to learn to students how do we work in a company. And so how do we do it? Well, we've got the big nice truck. We've got, in fact, 3 nice trucks today. And we go into schools, mostly in Belgium. We also go in France, Germany, and the Netherlands. And this big trunk, when it's completely deployed, is in fact a big fictive company inside. And with that company, students become themselves employees there, and they will learn and pass into different departments like sales, accounting, HR, e-commerce, inventory, manufacturing, field service, project management, and point of sale. It's really a hands-on activity. It means that for point of sale, there is really, the students become a cashier. They have to give some discounts. They have to return a product. If they go in inventory, they have to prepare a delivery, for example. So it's really nice for them to learn how Odoo works, how an ERP works, and of course, how do we run a company, in fact. This activity is, of course, 100% free. We need a minimum of 54 students, so we can do at least 2 workshops on a day. 1 workshop lasts 1 hour and a half, and we have the need that the students are more than 17 years old. It's better for a better understanding of the workshops. Then the other one is the Odoo University course. That's our aim for that is to teach students business operations with Odoo. So like Youssef said, it's a really nice course. Why? Well, because at the end you will receive that beautiful Odoo student's diploma, and maybe one day with that diploma you can find a job here at Odoo at a partner, for example. It's really meant for universities and also university colleges because it's quite hard, it's quite intense. We've got 8 chapters for that Odoo University course. We've got ERP, purchase, sales and CRM, project management, inventory management, also manufacturing, HR and accounting. You will have some theoretical slides, but also complex case studies. And for the teachers, of course, we've got the solutions and an evaluation grid, so it's easy for you too. The course lasts at least 35 hours, so it's quite dense. But afterwards, what a nice reward to have that kind of diploma on your CV. And now the rest, because we maybe have 3 bestsellers, but that's not what we do. We do also way more. First of all, we organize also company visits. It means that schools and universities come here at our office in Odoo, and we can do a presentation for them. We also organize some workshops for them, and what is really nice is that we plan some meet and greets. So let's say you've got future accountants with you. Well, then I will find one accountant colleague to come and to explain what he does every day here at Odoo, for example. Then we also organize some workshops for teachers and students that we can do online, or we can come to your school, your university. It's always good for us to go on site too. And there we can do workshops about everything. You need a workshop about e-commerce? Let's do that. You need a workshop about the scale-up? Let's do a scale-up session with you. It's always nice to be on the field and to be with the students. And then the sharing platform. What is that? Well, as you know, you are not the only teachers interested in Odoo, of course. And so there are some teachers who already made and created some databases with data already in it. How can you find those magnificently, and I don't speak English, but beautiful databases? Well, you can find them here on our website as well. And if you go a little below, you've got the Labodu, the Scale Up University course, and Build a course. That one's interesting for now. And you can see the first button is Create a Free Database. You will have access to Odoo, you will do the form, as I told you before, or you can view public courses. And if you click on it, as you can see, you've got a list of databases that are already done. So you've got one here, for example, in Dutch. There is one here, I think in French. There we've got maybe Spanish. So just have a look at it. We've got 19 different pages. So you will definitely find something for you. But now let's go back, because we have way more to explain.
Yes. So next to this, we also have our support, as said before, during the educational databases. If you experience a problem while using it, you can always get help from us. This is by surfing to odoo.com/help. And on this page, you will find different ways in which you can contact our support. So please feel free to check it out. Then we have our demo database. Our demo database is basically meant for people who would like to try out Odoo without using their own data, without using their own databases. There are actually two ways in which you can make use of demo data. Let me show you how. The first way is just by going to Google and typing in Odoo demo database. Then you have the first link, you press on it, and then you land on a database that's already fully populated with fictive data. For example, if you take a look at the CRM app, normally it's supposed to be empty, but it's already full with data. This database is good if you would like to try out the Odoo software without putting demo data in your own database. You can always check it out. And if you're finished, you just close the page and it will refresh for the next user. But then we also have another way of using our demo data. For this, you need to go to your own database. This is an example of a database that I created a few hours ago. For this, if you want to load demo data in your own database, you press on the settings button, you scroll down until you see the button activate the developer mode. You press on it, and then the page will automatically refresh. And then a new button at the same section appears, load demo data. If you press on it, you get a warning saying that you need to be sure that you want this demo data, because once you install it, you cannot get rid of it. So be sure you want it. And if not, you can always make use of the online version of the demo database. But let's go back to our slides. Then we also have Odoo Academy. It's basically a one-day training course for anyone who'd like about different topics, applications inside of the Odoo software, given by one of my colleagues who is an expert on that topic. The Odoo Academies are also completely free. Let me show you the page for it if you're interested. For this, you need to go to the last page that we already opened for you. You just go to the head page of odoo.com, and then you press on Community, and you go to Training. And then you find a page full with different academies that we have. You can filter on type, on language, on topic, on countries, and so on. If you find one that interests you, you can just press on it. For example, this one about manufacturing. And then you can read it and find out if it really interests you. And if so, you can press on the register button. You You need to fill in some of your information, and as soon as you do that, you will receive a confirmation. Physical attendance is often required, so please take that into notice. And then last but not least, we have our YouTube playlists. The first one, education program, is basically the same as the training session, the webinar of today. But this one will be, of course, be published on YouTube. But in the meantime, if you can't wait, you can always take a look at this one. And then we have our Hey Teachers playlist, which is a playlist about the most frequently asked questions regarding educational databases. In this playlist, you will find answers to questions like how can I export data, import data into a new database, or how can I even make an educational database. But then we have come to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something out of it. I want to thank you for your attention, and we can move on to the questions section.
In a few seconds.
Yes. Okay, hello back. First question from LinkedIn. How can a partner utilize the education program? Well, the education program isn't meant for partners. It's only meant for educational institutions and their students. So please do not use it. We can't control it, but please don't do it as it's not meant for the partners.
Yes, thank you. Then we've got a next question a little below from Philippe. You said that you are interested in the Odoo bus, that you are teaching economics in Liège, but you don't have 54 students. What can you do? Well, I've got a solution for you. Yes. You can organize a company visit, for example. You can come with your students here at Odoo, and we can organize a Labodu workshop there. And when you come here in our offices, there is no limit for the number of students coming here and doing the Labodu. So don't hesitate to plan a Labodu session here in a company visits. Can you specify how many students of 17 and more you have? That's a question asked, and so it's already answered. Perfect. We've got a question here. What kind of resources are available in Norwegian or Danish? Well, that's a really good question. I don't think that we have them for the moment. Everything is in English. And we are trying to find some translators, so don't hesitate to apply at Odoo to find some translators in Norwegian or Danish. Let's go a little below. Can you do this one?
Yes. How do I get the Odoo diploma? A question from LinkedIn. If you're a student, you need to subscribe to the Odoo educational university course. Normally, it's your teacher who needs to subscribe to it, and then he will share his link with you. And then after following this course of 35 hours given by your own teacher, you can participate in the exam. It's also possible to come to Odoo to get the lessons about it, because sometimes you organize boot camps around it. So if you're interested, you can follow our events page, and as soon as there is a new boot camp, it will be communicated on there.
Okay, I see then a next question from Ruben. I'm interested in creating a graduate Odoo program for engineers, accountants, and other professionals. How should I proceed? Can you assist? Well, of course, we can assist, we can help you, but the aim is that you create your course. What you can do is following some Odoo Academy, that helps a lot. And you can come, for example, during the Odoo experience that happens from the 18th to the 20th of September, because we will have a nice education village there, and you will meet a lot of teachers, and we will do some talks there. So don't hesitate to have a look on that page. Maybe you will have some more inspiration to build your beautiful course. Are there other questions for us? Okay, so we can wait at least a few seconds. Well, if you don't have questions, it was a pleasure to meet you all today and doing this presentation for you. I hope you learned a lot of things. And don't hesitate to contact us on our webpage and with the Odoo Education website. It was not the good presentation. This one is the good one. So
if you
here.
still have a question, you can always send us an email at education@odoo.com. And me or one of my colleagues will answer your question. I want to thank you again for your attention and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.